Well, the city of Seattle known for coffee, grunge music, and, of course, rain. And we're definitely going to get a heavy dose of the last of those three here tonight as you look inside a wet and wild Lumen Field. Welcome again, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and yes, the rain is falling now, and it is supposed to continue to fall throughout this game. So how do you think that will impact this contest?
Well, first and foremost, both quarterbacks are going to make sure the officials have those dry footballs coming in each and every play and standing over them sometimes with a towel before the center gets up there to snap it. Second thing is the focus of all the guys who handle the football. Do they wear gloves? Do they take them off? Will they carry the ball high and tight to make sure they have good ball security? That's paramount in a game like this.
So out come the Rams now for their first possession. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
And Matthew Stafford was taken first overall in the 2009 draft, and he certainly played like a top pick. Throughout his career, he's been one of the most prolific passers in the league, and there's no reason to believe he's going to slow down his production anytime soon. Not only that, he's also one of the tougher quarterbacks in the league as well.
Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Williams going to get it again on second down. And he's going to have a Rams first down as he's able to get this up to the 37-yard line.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Now a first down carry, it's Williams. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
Now a 2nd and 10. Flag comes out, and that's because the offense did not get the play off in time.
And you can see the head coach, he is not happy. Everyone getting away from him right now because he's frustrated that they didn't get the ball snapped in time.
Penalty accepted, and that pushes him back 5. And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15. He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's 3rd down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. In motion, the tight end. Just beating the play clock, Stafford. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big play that time on the catch and run. 32 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really They've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
That's caught. Puka Nacua. And he is stopped just short on third down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And the Rams have the first points here. It's 3-0. And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by a Southern California kid. Played his college ball in L.A. at USC. At quarterback, it's Sam Darnold. Looking to put a drive together. First carry here for Ken Walker. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
2nd down and 8. A play fake, and it's Darnold. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Now off the bootleg, Darnold. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Just a gain of a couple there. And that will bring up 2nd down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
From the 38 now, here comes 2nd and 8. Straight ahead, Walker. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Walker with another carry. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
On the ground, it's the rookie from Alabama. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. 2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. They'll try for the first with Walker. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 43 yards rushing for him on their opening drive of the contest, and it's now 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I go right at them with another momentum play. I go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on 3rd down.
A good run of 6 yards there gets them closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up.
That's a great run right there on 1st down. Didn't quite get into the end zone, but now you've set yourself up for at least 2, maybe 3 more shots from close range.
Walker will score. Touchdown, Seattle. First quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it was Ken Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their 2nd drive of the game. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Back to throw. Stafford. He's airing it out for Williams. And this almost intercepted. Not sure he saw the free safety that time. But lucky, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty. That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
Off the draw, here's Williams. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Rams with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. It's a jet sweep. This is Adams. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. Oh, and that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Well, they had that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
So on 4th down, on is Ethan Evans to punt for the Rams. Back deep, Rashid Shaheed. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Kenneth Walker headed back out there. You see the numbers, all those carries. If you get that many carries in the drive, you better finish it with a touchdown, and he did.
Yeah, and deservedly so, right? Because we've seen times like the Carolina Panthers, sometimes Jonathan Stewart to carry the ball all the way down, and then Cam, he's such a great goal line runner, he'll carry it in. But in this case, though, that didn't happen. The fellow lugging the load, he's the one who got to reap the reward.
Yeah, there was no touchdown vulture here. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. That'll be taken in by Shaheed. They'll wind up getting just a yard. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. Faking the give, Darnold. Open man left side. Shaheed has it. Oh, that's just not fair. And now room to run. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. It's a big play there for Seattle. 56 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 56 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Ken Walker with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Seahawks are able to stretch out their lead. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the 2nd time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Now Myers for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was Kenneth Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. L.A. set to take over again on offense. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Stafford now to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Rams on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing is Stafford. That is caught. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And the throw and the catch were just fine. But against zone coverage, when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
And right side, they're going to go option here. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Out of the pistol, here's Williams. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks 44.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. And Stafford's going to take it himself. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now we got a player in some discomfort after that last play, and not the guy you want to see. That's quarterback Matthew Stafford. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
I'm coming.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
And, Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key 1st downs and big runs.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
And that's exactly what offenses try to avoid by using motion and throwing different formations up. They hate when he can draw a bead on the play, get a running start, and make a big play behind the line of scrimmage as he did just there.
The first throw here for the backup Garoppolo. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Ethan Evans on now to punt. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. Back out now comes Kenneth Walker in the Seattle offense. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That 1st down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room that if you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. This is 2nd and 8. Here's Darnold. His throw incomplete. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the 1st half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Now here's Michael Dixon. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42.
They'll fake the jet sweep and instead give up the middle to Williams.
And he pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, 2nd down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down.
They'll come up 2nd and 7.
They run it again with Williams.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 49 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
They had 3 tight ends in on that set, and they were really good at blocking for their running back.
And give them a lot of credit because in football nowadays, tight ends coming out of college often don't block very often. These guys have really developed into superior blockers, and that's why they use them in this formation so often.
And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
Garoppolo. And that's complete to Adams. So the completion good for just 3. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Snap comes at 1. Garoppolo. He's going to let this go for the end zone.
And oh no, it's incomplete. Well, it's a touchdown if he holds on, but somehow took his eyes off of it, falls to the ground, and brings up 4th down. Here's Ethan Evans now.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
2nd quarter action, 1:56 remaining.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Now a 2nd and 2. From the gun, it's Walker.
And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Back to Walker on 1st down.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. They get 17 on that one, move the chains, 1st down Seahawks. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Darnold running the option left. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Second and 10. And they'll try the air now with Darnold. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold.
He'll let this go deep for Smith and Jigba.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
So halftime here out west. Let's go east. That's where we find Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone. Scott Hansen here in our thankfully dry studios in Orlando. That's obviously not the case at the stadium, where the rain continues to play a factor in this game. Who will take better advantage of it in the second half? To find out the answer, let's go back out to the stadium and rejoin our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scott, thank you. The rain, maybe not quite as heavy as it was earlier, but still coming down pretty good as we prepare for the second half.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third.
And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I liked what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Third quarter begins with a run by Walker.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
110 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Again, it's Walker.
And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around with the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
On 1st and 10, it's Charbonnet.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Now, that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd and 6. Up the middle, here's Walker.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. That one a first down pickup of 8.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem.
Byron Young.
Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
And the passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces 3rd and long.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. To throw is Darnold.
He'll try and do this himself.
He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow, out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Here's Garoppolo to throw.
On the RPO, he'll keep it himself.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the 1st down marker. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on 1st down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
The busy night continues for Williams. And he stopped immediately there. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
Now the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense.
This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Darnold from the gun.
Gets this complete to Shaheed.
And he's brought down. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. Now he's going to step up and run.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Darnold, he can beat you in a number of ways, and there the scramble for the 1st.
At this point, this offense feels like they could just roll out anything, and it would work. They are certainly in no hurry for this one to end, not when they can rack up some stats and continue to add to their lead.
Out of the gun, Walker with it.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle.
Kenneth Walker,
32 yards. As his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
Well, he was already over 100 yards running the football prior to this play, but this run may be his best yet.
I've got to agree with you on that one. We're looking at a guy running with extreme confidence, running in harmony and sync with his blockers, all of them kind of moving as one, and look at the end result. Big plays.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And it's 21-3. 5 plays there on that drive.
And it was Ken Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Looking to put a drive together. Garoppolo looks to throw.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Here's 2nd and 10.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. He's got Smith here. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. A gain of 8 there on the play, and it'll be second in a couple.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
From the 48-yard line, here's second down and 2.
Garoppolo again. Now Garoppolo lost the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Straight ahead, Walker.
And a solid run down inside the 30. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Sticking with Walker on second down.
And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now Darnold keeps it.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line.
They'll toss this out right to Walker.
And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line.
Excellent job defensively there from Kobe Turner.
Well, from my vantage point, that's just one bad play by the offensive line and a running back who's had a lot of good ones tonight.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be ticked off, nor is the offensive line, because to me it's a lot like a no-hitter, right? Pitcher's throwing a no-hitter, gives up a hit late. You're so close to accomplishing everything you want and don't quite get it done. They'll come back with a vengeance on the next play.
8 yards on the run, and that cuts this down to a 3rd and about 5.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now he'll tuck this and run.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter.
Here's Walker.
And they get him down at the 1. He had the broken tackle, but ultimately could not get into the end zone. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Walker once more. Trying to find a lane, but he finds nothing but defenders. Stop for no gain at the 2-yard line.
Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
There have not been a lot of great moments for this defense throughout this game. Finally, they have one they can hang their hat on. A nice stop there.
Now here's Jason Myers. He gets set for the Seahawk field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Myers' kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And the LA offense ready for this next possession.
And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
DeMarcus Lawrence able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Looking to throw. Garoppolo.
Slant to Adams.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
The Rams on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Screen play set up for Williams.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
And that's a gutsy call there on 3rd and short because that's a play that's got a good chance of being blown up in the backfield for a big loss of yardage. But nice job out wide to gather in that screen pass, use his blockers well, and pick up the 1st down.
From the 50, it's Stafford. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Again, it's Stafford.
Throwing for Smith on the out route, and it's caught.
2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Smith will come in motion right. Now a play fake, and it's Stafford.
Pass complete there to Nakua.
And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown.
Puka Nakua.
39 yards.
And the Rams are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And this is up and good. That'll make it a score now of 24-10. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Seahawks offense and Kenneth Walker set to take over once more. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the fourth quarter. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Sticking with Walker on second down.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And they get him down about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 3rd down pickup of 5.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Looking to put a drive together.
In motion right goes Adams.
To throw is Stafford.
They'll drop this down to Williams.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Play clock down to 0, and that's going to be a delay.
So that flag will set him back 5 yards.
Doesn't look to be any confusion here as they come up now on a 2nd and 6 following the delay of game. Following the penalty, it's Williams. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
From the 34-yard line, here's second down and 5.
Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Corum now on 1st and 10.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33.
That burst good for 20 and a first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Now Stafford. And his throw is incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Stafford now to throw. This is caught by Williams. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now it's Stafford. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They snap it to Stafford.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10.
Throwing to Stafford. And he's got his man on the out route. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. This is a very impressive drive, especially when you consider where they started from to now be set up 1st and goal.
Yeah, and some nice running right there. That's what got them the first down. But at this point, I suggest open up your playbook. You can call just about what you want.
Here we go, 1st and goal.
Stafford. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Here's Stafford. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
A big play coming now for the Rams as they'll go for 2. They'll look to run for it with Williams. And he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for 2 does not pay off as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit. A little less than 90 seconds to go. This will be an onside kick. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Open man left side. Shaheed has it.
Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd.
On 3rd down, here's Walker.
Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away.
So now Stafford and the Rams
down by 8, a minute 15 remaining. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. They begin the drive with Williams. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
No timeout. You got to go quick here.
Final minute. No timeouts at their disposal. Here's 1st and 10.
Now Stafford.
Going to be taken in here by Nakua.
This is where, of course, it's good to have a veteran quarterback under center.
You would just be able to put on one of those blood pressure clips, and nothing would be different for him. He's done it many times before, expects to get it accomplished again.
Here comes 2nd down at 5.
Now it's Stafford.
Oh, and that nearly ended it. That should have been intercepted, but he cannot corral it, and that is a lifeline there with 3rd down coming up.
Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear in risking a deep ball there, but it wasn't enough to get him the completion.
Stafford now to throw.
Now that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down.
Here we go on 4th. Stafford.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he gets in just in the nick of time, so they get the touchdown they need. Now they need a 2-point conversion to tie it.
We'll break down the touchdown later. It's 2-point conversion time. Go to your script, pick your play, and go for it.
Listen to this crowd now. Their guys need a stop on this 2-point conversion. One last throw here for Stafford. And it's caught. And with it, we are tied here in the 4th. Everything was riding on that 2-point conversion, and they got it.
They got it. They now have the momentum. Time really dwindling in this game. Now their big deal is make sure they get a good kickoff and don't give up anything big on the defensive end.
So overtime on the horizon, barring a wild finish here as the kick's away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone.
So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dial.
Conditions only going to get worse as we get back to football here to start this overtime. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Rams ready to go on offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Off of play action. Here's Stafford. It's caught here by Adams. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Opening drive of overtime. Both teams will get a possession, barring a defensive score. Here's second down.
Here's Stafford. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Oh, and they sent the man in motion too late. This is going to be a delay.
That flag, that'll push him back 5.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. From the gun, here's Stafford. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Back to throw, Stafford.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
What will they draw up to try to keep this opening drive of overtime moving? 3rd and 7. Oh, the motion comes too late. And this is going to be a delay.
Of course, that flag accepted, and it backs the ball up 5 yards.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Now Stafford.
Open man, that's complete.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 28. 19 yards that time for number 19. Now a first down carry is Williams. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7.
Again, it's Williams.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line.
It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Stafford.
On the out route, this is Adams with a catch.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
A chance now to strike first in the overtime session and get a big leg up. 1st and goal. Corum is going backwards here. Now they come in and drop him all the way back at the 4-yard line.
A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
Defense really sold out there to stop the run. Understandable down near the goal line. Now on 2nd down, you have to wonder, might we see play action here and a flip right over the top?
On 2nd and goal, Stafford.
And this is a touchdown. Now, it's not over yet, but they draw first blood here in this overtime.
There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead. The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
And out now come the Seahawks.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Now it's Darnold.
Throw out wide to Walker.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
That turns into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right, and after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
Here's Darnold.
They'll get this one to Kupp, complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be second down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
They need a matching touchdown here to keep their hopes alive. Here's second down.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Darnold to throw again. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
Well, with his size, you've really got to wrap up because arm tackles, they're not going to cut it. And that time, he used his full-grown man strength to fight off his defender and pick up the first down.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again is Darnold. Open man right side is Kupp, complete. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
A field goal does nothing. It is touchdown or bust as they come up on 3rd down.
That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
On 4th down, Darnold. And it's in.